Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode on the Glory Reds podcast. It's your boy Don Benito, and today I'm speaking about my manager, the gaffer, who seems to be under fire, who seems to be under threat. His job is under threat. Everybody's talking about Erik Ten Hag, and it's crazy. I don't know why people cannot just leave our gaffer alone. Erik Ten Hag's job has been under threat since the beginning of the season. And it's crazy how people are ignoring the situation at Manchester United. It is unfair, and I think it's actually lazy that people just run to the next. They want the next toy, because human beings, you like new toys. Every time something doesn't work for you, you want to change it and want to get something else in. But here at Manchester United, right here, right now, we are trying to build for the future. We are trying to repair the damage that has been done since Sir Alex Ferguson left. The discipline, the infrastructure, the lack of determination, that lack of camaraderie. There is no togetherness. Manchester United is a dysfunctional club. Here comes Erik Ten Hag, master disciplinary, headmaster, with the shambok coming in there and trying to put people in their places. And people are refusing. People don't like change. Everybody's like, nah, this is bullshit. Okay. But now his job is under threat. Now I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna talk. And I've been talking about this throughout the season. I hate repeating it, but I think it is necessary for me to repeat what this manager has done for Manchester United. Gone are the days where a manager comes in and he really looks clueless. Erik Ten Hag doesn't look clueless. Yes, he has succumbed to the Manchester United pandemic, and when I say the pandemic or this disease, I say everybody that has come to Manchester United, be it a player, be it a manager, since Alex Ferguson, né? I know it's light, but listen to this. Every single person that has come to Manchester United since that time has not really cemented themselves at Manchester United. Not really. Not really. We don't have well, David De Gea. Okay, David De Gea is the only player, but he's gone. But my point is, ever since Erik Ten Hag came into Manchester United, he inherited a dysfunctional club. Now, I keep on asking myself this question, like, why did we go and get Erik Ten Hag in the first place? Why? Why did we derail this man who was doing well at Ajax with his team? He could have won the Eredivisie. I don't know. I don't know if they. No, Ajax didn't win the Eredivisie after he left. But I'm pretty sure that if he was there and he continued with the program that he was under, Ajax would have continued to do well because after he left, they dropped. Now, why did we take Erik Ten Hag out from Ajax and bring him to Manchester United if we were not going to give him the time? What was the plan? Okay, you can say that Ineos just came in right now, but Ineos would be very daft to get rid of a man who understands the club at the moment. I don't think there's any other managers out there coming into this club are going to struggle. They're always going to struggle. Meaning, as fans, we need to give whoever the manager is time. We have to leave space in our heart for a dismal year or two because every cycle, every 3 years, we get rid of the manager. That's what we do. That's what Manchester's been doing. Every 3 years or every 2.5 years, we change the manager. We leave the stupid fucking players who couldn't give a shit, who don't perform, who even till today are not performing. We are keeping them. Ne? And we're getting rid of the man who's trying to build the future for Manchester United. I honestly think Erik Ten Hag is a tactician. I really do. It's not a coincidence that he did what he did with Ajax. It's not. Champions League, he was in the Europa final against us in 2017. It's not a fucking coincidence. Erik Ten Hag is good at his job, but you need to provide. You look at all the other every other manager. Now people are going to easily say, no, the gaffer was given money. He was given stuff to he was given money to do this. But that is a lie. That is a blatant fucking lie. Because there are no the players that we wanted, we never got them. The players that were supposed to leave never left. Only Fred. And I believe Fred was the wrong person to let go of. If you think about how we are lacking in the midfield this season, how if Casemiro was is having these shit games that he's having, bring Fred. Fred was a good player for us, but we got rid of it. Yes, he had these moments where he would play shit and you just don't want Fred. But Fred was a steady Eddie. Maybe we got rid of him because he's Brazilian, because he is way better than Scott McTominay with whatever it is that he gives. Scott McTominay does score more goals than him, but I think this season, Fred has scored more goals for Galata. Is it Fenerbahce? I've been checking him out. He's scoring braces and doing the thing. He's allowed to play. Now that's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about the manager. Why are we trying to get rid of him? Why is everybody saying if the manager loses this game, he's getting the sack? Why are we putting the ideas in Ineos? Why are we putting the ideas? Why are we making people join in on this fucking narrative that the gaffer is the problem? Why? It's not fair. It's not fair on the manager who is trying. And it's sad to see the gaffer, because every manager comes to Manchester United with energy, Ole, Mourinho, everybody. But as they go through the years spending time at Manchester United, you see them age. You see the stress on their faces. You see the stress on their beards. You see it in their scrunching faces, whatever. Like, you see it. And Erik Ten Hag has now got to that place. Remember the Erik Ten Hag that I was like, I trust him with my life? That one Erik Ten Hag? He has changed because of the club. Our club poisons people. It does. Now, until we sort that out, why are we trying to get rid of the manager? Erik Ten Hag would have been gone today by now. Like, I probably wouldn't have been having this conversation. He would have been gone if we lost against Bournemouth. I know that. Every top journalist and everybody is hinting at him losing his job. If we lose against Coventry in the FA Cup, he's going to lose his job. Why are we putting these barriers? Why are we not just saying, listen, you gave him right up until this moment to do what he wanted to do. Let him finish off the season. There are about 5 games left. Which fucking manager is going to come in with these stupid players and try and string some wins? Like, what is the point? Let's judge the manager by his full season. Let him finish off the season. And if you think, okay, we didn't qualify for Europe, we lost this, and then you guys believe that no, this manager is not for us, then sack him during the summer. But right now, let him be. Right now, look at what is happening at Manchester United. Anthony, we were asking ourselves, where's Anthony against Bournemouth? He was injured. He picked up an injury during training, and he didn't travel with the Bulls to the South Coast. He didn't. You look at that bench that we have, my God. There were kids. The only seniors that were there were Mount, Eriksson, Amrabat, and Altay, and Ahmad, because I include Ahmad in that. But then the other boys, is it Abbas? I forgot their names, but these are the under 19s. They were on the bench. And the gaffer, for some reason, which is why I said in that thing, you see why I think we need these YouTubers having interviews with these players and stuff, because we get to understand the nitty gritty, the behind the scenes, because that is what's frustrating the United fans. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You tell us that you're training, but you play like you have not trained in days. We see Mason Mount back. You spend so much money. He's wearing the number 7, for crying out loud, at the most iconic number at Manchester United. He's wearing it. And he's on the bench. He's coming in for 5 minutes. Why? I always ask myself these questions. Why? Why is Mason Mount not starting? Is he not fully fit? Because that is a possibility with this Manchester United squad. But people don't see this. You guys, it's so sad that you jump into conclusion and you just want to go to the person. Yes, he's in charge. But try and have a brain. Try and think for yourself and try and understand what's going on. You see Maguire and Kambuala at center back. That doesn't bother you? Not that they are bad, no, but that doesn't show you the crisis or the situation that we're in. Kambuala and Maguire. Come on. And this season, Rashford, dismal performance. We play him because we have got no other option. Because maybe this guy, if he comes on, will get injured. Or if this guy comes on, he'll pull this. I hope the fans understand these things and stop looking at the gaffer. Yes, the gaffer is in charge, yes. But put yourself in his shoes. What will you do if players are picking up injury? You're trying to create a style of play. You're trying to build an identity. But then the main characters of your movie are not there. How? How do you get the consistency? How? How? The only people that complain about such things have never played football. You guys just watch. You've never played the game. That's why you say this. I speak from a point of playing the game. We need to stop hounding the gaffer. Let him do his job. If he gets sacked, let him get sacked. But you need to be prepared for what's going to come after. Because we're still keeping the same shit players, the same shit, the same nonsense. We're gonna get rid of players who shouldn't go, because that's what United do. We always get rid of players that you think, oh wait, that guy didn't deserve. We should have left. He should have stayed, and then he should have gone. The Ander Herreras, the Chris Smallings, the Freds, the what at the time Evans, because I mean he left a long time ago. But then yeah, you understand. We always getting rid of players that shouldn't go, and then keeping that we're going to spend the whole season complaining about. And the weird thing is, beginning of the season, when we all know what's happening, we all know how the season is going to be based on the players that are there with us. We can't build any hope because there are no new players. Because so you already know how your season is going to be. But then for some reason, in your heart, you think, no, it's a new season, different vibes, different everything. Maybe these guys are gonna step up. No! They gave you a problem last season. What do you think is going to change? Or they've been giving you problems for 3, 4, 5 years. What do you think is going to change? I am Rashford to me is not world class. I don't understand how he's getting paid the money that he's being paid, but I'm not convinced. And for me, I really want us to sell Rashford. And I don't mean it in a very bad way. I don't mean it in a hurtful way, in a very malicious. No, I love him. I know what he's capable of. But then for the sake of Manchester United and where we want to be, because we want to get back to what Man City are. Man City are going for their sixth title in 7 years. They are on the course of repeating a double fucking treble, because they're still playing in the Champions League, they're leading the Premier League, and they're in the FA Cup. We are trying to get to that level, but we are miles and miles and miles. Like, we are kilometers and kilometers. We are far from these guys. Not with these players. Absolutely not. We need players that understand Manchester United. Not understand it in a very fan way. Nah, understand your club. Go back in history. Read about the Cantonas, the Dennis Irwins, the legends, the Wazas, the C's, the Scosies, the Gigsies, the Becks, the Nicky Butts. I'm sure some of you don't even know who Nicky Butt is, but I'm just saying, go and find out. Understand. How is it that us fans who are not even playing for our club, when we portray or think about our club, we use history? We take pride in our history. But our new boys, these guys, I cannot. There's some in our team that embrace that Manchester United culture, that show it, that play like we see it. But the rest, it's just paper on paper. Huh? Players, but the pampir, useless fucking players. I wish the world would get off Erik Ten Hag's ish, like his case. Leave him be. If he's gonna be sacked, let him be sacked. But let's not create this thing around him that no, he failed to control, or he's losing the dressing room, or the players this. That is rubbish. That is making excuses for these players. It really is. It really, really is. It's not fair. The manager who has come to this club on the first season and has the highest win rate of all managers, even the great Grandpa Fergie, he has a better win rate. Erik Ten Hag has a better win rate than Sir Alex Ferguson. Yes, Sir Alex Ferguson played so many games than him. So it's easy to come in there and start nitpicking. But Sir Alex Ferguson's start to Manchester United life and Erik Ten Hag's life, start to Manchester United life, are two different things. Eric is having a more successful year than what Grandpa Fergie had when he was there. He's better than Mourinho in his win rate. Ole, Van Gaal, not Ranić, but you understand. Like he's right up. Even the Busby babes. Like this is it's a significant thing it's a significant stat, or it's a significant thing to realize and try and pick from it. And now you want Carlo Ancelotti, who's at Real Madrid. He's about to take them to the Champions League final. His life is there. He has got the players that he wants. You want to go for Klopp, who's tired of Liverpool, or Graham Potter, who like the managers that are out there waiting to be managers. I honestly don't have it. Like I don't know who we're going to bring. I'm not thinking about Xabi Alonso because I know everybody's thinking, oh, maybe we can get him. Nah, he's a Liverpool legend. He's a Liverpool legend. How is that going to be palatable to people? Like I know you people don't think about these things, but these things they happen. You look at the time when Stevie G went to when he was the coach of Villa. Um, which player was that? There was a player that he started having friction with, and that was, I think it was Mengi. No. It was a United player. Tuanzebe. Tuanzebe. Axel Tuanzebe. He was a United player, right? Our defender. That remember him? Forgot about him. Yeah, Tuanzebe. He goes to Villa. Gerrard goes to Villa. Gerrard is an ex-Liverpool player. Tuanzebe, ex-United player. They clash. Tuanzebe leaves because it's like, listen, this guy is. I'm not gonna get game time. This guy is from Liverpool. These things happen in a very. You don't think they do, but they do. So Xabi Alonso is definitely out of the question. Nagelsmann, I'm hearing Bayern Munich are talking to him. So it means Tuchel is gonna be sold. Do we want Tuchel? I won't mind him, but he's bounced from club to club to club. In the past 3 seasons, he's moved from Chelsea to Bayern, and Chelsea to Bayern after winning the Champions League, and then he goes to Bayern Munich, and then he loses the Bundesliga. He is a mercenary. He's not settled. He's just trying to look for a good project. And if we get these kind of managers, we're gonna get the same thing. These players gonna come in, put in a shift in the first, I don't know, 6 months, look like we're flying. Oh, Rashford, yeah, these players are getting the best out of them. These players will be doing interviews, the gaffer. Then they'll ask them, what has changed? What is it that this new manager said that Erik Ten Hag said? Then you will hear shit. You're gonna start hearing these players talk shit about the gaffer. No, we're training less. The training sessions are not difficult. We have a style of play. Blah blah blah. We're gonna hear a lot of bullshit about the gaffer that had nothing to do with the gaffer, but everything to do with the players. Let's stop being lenient on these players. Let's go in on these players. Really, the senior players, let's go in on them. Players that have been there for the longest of time, let's go in on them. Let's show them that we are not happy with them. There's no manager that's going to come here and like if Erik Ten Hag gets sacked, right? And then a new manager comes in. I am sorry. I don't think I will smile with these players. If they give me any bullshit performance, I am going to rip into them because that's what they want. They're downing tools, playing shit, so that Erik Ten Hag can get sacked, so they can get a new manager, so that they can feel good again. Good vibes, new manager bounce back. Sick and tired of that shit. It doesn't work. I think there's evidence in the Premier League that this new manager bounce back is bullshit. It is fake. It's momentarily. It doesn't last. The players eventually, when they say, when you're meeting a girl for the first time, getting to know each other. In the beginning, you're busy showing the best version of yourself. You are lying to that person in other sense. I mean, yeah, to a certain extent, you're lying because you're selling yourself, to be this person. And then once you get the prize or you guys are together, then reality kicks in, and then your natural true self comes in. You know, somebody's true version of themselves always comes out eventually. So this new manager bounce back that you guys are want at the moment, it's gonna be momentarily. Then we're gonna go back to shit, and we're gonna keep on this cycle. And then the poor next manager that's gonna come in is gonna be put on the chopping block. I'm sick and tired of having to all the time be loyal to this manager. Give this manager time. Accept this. Like, it's too much. It's too much. It's too much. We've gone through so many managers. It is too much. Erik Ten Hag has not done anything wrong. Yes, his substitutions and whatever. But if you are a football fan and you understand football and you understand our club, I think you can pick out that there is a big issue at Manchester United. It has been there since the beginning of the season. It hasn't changed. Nothing has fucking changed. If we don't have our full starting lineup, forget that story. Forget it. You look at other teams when they don't have their superstars and stuff. It's all bullshit. They don't play. But just because Manchester United is Manchester United, and like I said in the previous episode, that nobody gives a shit about Manchester United. Everybody wants to see Manchester United fall because once upon a time we dominated football. We dominated the Premier League. We are the current most Premier League winners in the Premier League era, Manchester United. So people at the time they didn't understand. Everybody was just like, everybody is favoring Manchester United. Manchester United is this historical club, so everybody's just the refs, this. People are tired of that shit. Nobody wants to hear what has been happening at Manchester United. If they hear that we're going through a crisis, yes, that's what they want to hear. And they will create their stories because we are Manchester United. There is no story when there's no Manchester United. You see transfer windows. We are literally linked to all the players in the world because being linked to Manchester United stirs up drama, stirs up traffic, you know? If you're trying to win a new contract at your club, just threaten your club that you're going to Manchester United. Because people know that Manchester United have the money, you know? We've had the money. So people are fed up with Manchester United. Now the fans, we can't fall into that. We can't fall into that trap. We can't fall into the trap of the noise of everybody. We can't. You know your club. You know Rashford doesn't give a shit. This season he couldn't give a shit. You know that this season Bruno has dropped in levels. You know Casemiro has also dropped in level. You know that we have a gem in Kobe Mainoo. You know that Garnacho is a revelation. One of those things. You know that Rasmus Højlund, he needs to be fed. Boy is starving. You know that Onana is going to concede a goal or two. You know it. You know it. The team, you know it. But for some reason, you try to compare. We try to compare ourselves to the likes of Man City, Arsenal, because they're no, no, they're not at our level. They are above us. They want to win shit. Their players have got the memo. We haven't. Our players don't. They're just going through the motions. You know. So I still back the manager. I am not of Erik Ten Hag out. I'm probably going to be the only one, and that's fine. That's fine because if that happens and Erik Ten Hag gets sacked, and we bring a new manager, and then things go to shit, I am going to revive this video. I'm going to bring it back, and I'm going to post it to all social media so that people can remember this. That we are jumping for a new toy without fixing what's inside. Last season, the gaffer wanted Kim Min Jae. He wanted two midfielders, wanted a striker or maybe two strikers, he wanted a right back. He didn't get these things. He didn't. He literally didn't. He got Mount. We're asking ourselves that question about Mount, but we've already solved that question. He brought in Onana. Did he have to? Well, he's the manager. He saw the way he wants to play, so he brought in Onana. Was it the right thing? Maybe not. But you're not in charge. It was a mistake because David De Gea was still good. He's still young. Goalkeepers age well. Like they age better. Like goalkeepers, the older they get, the better they become. It's not like other outfield players where certain age, others. But he did that. And we had to accept because that is he's trying to put an identity, his mark on the team. Why are we not allowing him to do that? Mourinho came to Manchester United and taught us how to park the bus. We never knew how to park the bus. But Mourinho came here and taught us how to park the bus. Some of you didn't like it. I thought it was a tactic, which is just like every other tactic. You don't want the opposition to score. You want to win the game. Parking a bus is a tactic, whether you don't like it or not. It's a tactic. It's a boring tactic to watch because you sit there and just absorb pressure, and just repel it. It's boring, yes, but it is a tactic. If it's gonna get you the points or the trophy, why not? Van Gaal's, what was his style of play? It was building from the back using wingers. What? He tried to come in and impose himself. Ole, I don't know. Ole was just sit back, counter, sit back, counter. I've got speedsters. So every manager comes into a club and tries to impose his thing. Why is it that everybody's rejecting Erik Ten Hag? Why? We put him on the spot with certain weird conversations that are there, like topics. We try to go in on him unnecessarily, asking him questions that if he answers, would you guys would twist and then always why? I'm really sick of the witch hunt that is directed towards Erik Ten Hag. And the strange thing is I feel like he's not going to last. Because everything that I'm reading from Top Sport, from Manchester Evening News, from the normal daily news that comes out, everybody's talking about Erik Ten Hag's job. Like he's doing a bad job. Yes, like we didn't lose. But if we it's sad. It's sad. It's really, really sad. And it's unfortunate that these players are not even like some of these players are not you can tell when players don't want to play for the manager anymore. Where it's like they're just waiting for this guy to get the fuck out of the club. You know? You feel it. You saw it against Mourinho. You saw it with Mourinho, you saw it with Ole, after those thrashings that we got, you could tell the body language, the chemistry, manager, players dropping heads, shaking, frowning, no more high fives and chest bumps, none of that. Just frustration and chaos. Manchester United, we need to slow down. We need to slow down, take a breath, look at the situation, analyze it very well, and not jump into conclusion. Manchester United is going to be the club that's you see right now. Right now, I read a story, and this is I read. Well, I've read so many stories, but then after this whole debacle with um, Bournemouth, there are two players that will be to a lot of players, but I picked up these two because these are a fantasy. I because I love these players. I watch these players on in Syria and stuff like that. So there are two players that we've been linked to. A left back, which is weird. I was saying I mentioned in the previous episode that we're not talking about a left back, which at the time when I said it, I don't think we were. And even this story that I read, I'm not even sure if it's true or not. So you can take this with a pinch of salt. But we were linked to Theo Hernandez of AC Milan. That left back, that is a proper player. He is somebody that I can say, you know what? United, thank you. I like Theo Hernandez. That is a proper fucking left fullback. He's good. But is it true? Is it true? Because we always get these stories when we are in this sort of chaotic moment where there's just unrest and there's this and that. Then we hear, and then another play. Then we hear that we're linked to this player or linked to that player. Another player that we've been linked to, who is also on the left, is Rafael Leao. I was talking to Pastor D the other time, and I was like, I remember when we were having a conversation about Marcus Rashford, and at the time, Rashford wasn't. For me, I've noticed Rashford has been playing well since last season. So I'm not gonna sit here and say that I've been like, no, Rashford has been good. Nah, for me, it's not been good since last season. So I've been saying that there's something wrong with Rashford, like he's not performing. And last season, I gave him praise because he was on it. I gave him the credit where it was due. But this season, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I'm not even going to allow myself to. I'm looking at this guy. He's not running. He's not tracking back, but he's given an assist. The assist he gave wasn't impressive. The goal that he scored wasn't really impressive. I had to struggle for that goal as compared to last season. So I was just not like. But I remember telling Pastor D that um, Rashford hasn't been good, and we need to stop this. Uh, what is this? Being lenient on him. You understand? So I don't know. I don't know. It's really sad to see that everybody's gunning for Erik Ten Hag. It's sad to see that the fans have given up, and I understand. I understand why fans have given up. I really do, but I really wish we could take a beat. I really wish people would understand that there's a lot that goes into what you see. It's not just what you see is what you get. Nah, 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 nah. It's not. Certain players are playing because others couldn't be asked, others are injured, others we just don't know. You see that Amrabat, Mason Mount, and Ericsson situation. That that bothers me because I'm like, listen, our midfield against Bournemouth it wasn't that good. And we had players on the bench who could have added some sort of value to it. I mean, you look at the Chelsea game that we played where we lost. Mason Mount came on. Mason Mount looked so sharp. I was like, this guy's starting the next game. This guy, when he starts the next game, is going to be electric. What happens? Benches. When does he come on? Last 2 minutes of the game. How does that work? How does that work? That is the manager's fault. That's true. But then it's not his fault that there's no transparency between the club and us. He is protecting these players. When you see him, when journalists ask the gaffer a question that you want answers, and he backs them like no, we were good, and then he always refers to you see these boys, they've got that comeback mentality. And I know that rubs you guys the wrong way, but look at how dysfunctional that is. If he goes in on them, then Erik Ten Hag is a problem because that's what he did with Sancho. If they ask him the questions that are serious and he goes in on our players, then you fans start losing your shit. Everybody starts saying, "Oh, he shouldn't have done that. He's going to fuck with the players' mentality." Blah blah blah. But when he protects them, he looks weak. Oh, the gaffer, he looks like he's defeated. Why is he accepting this? It's all double standards. Like, what do you fucking want? What? What? It's not fair. It's not fair on the gaffer. It's not fair. But I understand. And the world that we live in, it's all about now, 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 now. We have forgotten. I'm old school, man. History means something to me. The past means something to me. I was holding on to last season for a reason. Some of the predictions and the things that I've said this season about Manchester United didn't come from nowhere. I didn't just sit there and dream and think, nah, Manchester United can do this. No, last season, guys. Were we that bad last season? I don't think so. I think that was the best we had been in a long time. Forget the Ole's, because Ole, we had those moments. People always say Ole um, did the double on Pep Guardiola. Like, they like to pick certain things and blah blah blah. But then the overall sense of it wasn't really. It was counter-attacking football, like you guys are always saying, and what. Last season, we got to actually see an improvement, by bringing Licha and he's there, left centre back, another centre back. We had problems with our centre backs. That situation was covered. Boom. Roberto Carlos was there. We needed a CDM. Casemiro came in there. Boom. Last season, we were very difficult to beat, very difficult to break. A lot of things that were being done to us in the past stopped last season. But people have forgotten that. Yes, because it was a turbulent season. But people are easily forgotten about that. It's the same thing I was telling Pastor D this morning. I was like, man, people like to forget. They forget. It's not fair. Yeah, if that's the mentality of how we do things now, then I need to get the memo. I need to start focusing on only now and forget about what people do. You know, I think that's the best way. I think that's the way that the world is working right now. You know, people are calling certain people legends because of certain things. This guy is good because of Van Dijk. Van Dijk. Oh, he's the best centre back in the Premier League. Where, where, where? Now I know he's a very isolated situation. I'm just trying to make a point, but you understand what I mean. People forget, and it's not fair. And if we are going to keep on having this habit of forgetting the past, certain things, or purposely ignoring or selective hearing whatever it is that we want, we're not going to go. We're not going to go far. We're not going to be true to ourselves. You're not going to understand that. Listen, Rashford is not good enough. He's not Manchester United material. Fuck the fact that he stays there, he was born there, and he's from the academy. Forget that shit. There are so many players that have been at Manchester United, didn't get the opportunity to play, but probably acting more professional. The Welbecks and the you know what I'm talking about. Players that played there at Manchester United. So let's stop this thing of like, yeah, homegrown talent. Now, if you're good enough and you're being consistent, cool. And one of the things of being a great Manchester United player, especially if you're from Manchester, is you have to be consistent because you are the boy, you are the guy, you are at home. You need to be consistent. We had consistencies from all those guys, even Pogba. Pogba came from our academy. Yeah, unfortunately, he went to Juve and stuff, but he came back. And unfortunately, his second coming wasn't good. But hey, you understand where I'm going with this? He was a good player. He was doing his business when he was doing it. We need to stop allowing ourselves mediocre. We need to stop misusing certain words. World class. This. I think that's something that I've learned in the recently. Misusing the word world class. Because if you're world class, you are consistent. If you're not consistent, you're not fucking world class. I cannot categorize you or put you in that bracket if you are not consistent. And Rashford is not. Rashford has been here for the longest of time. He's now a big boy, and he's still not. Nah, 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 nah. So that's what I have to say about Erik Ten Hag. I still back the manager. I have this very strong feeling that he's going to be sacked, and soon. It's going to break my heart when that happens. It's going to make me uncomfortable. It's going to make me uneasy because I've been looking and thinking about a manager who would come in to Manchester United and help us. Like, I'm trying to think. And when I look at the players that we have, the players that we have need an elite manager. That's how I see it. An elite manager, not a manager that has a CV of coaching a lower division in any league. So, for example, you're bringing in a manager who has coached, let's say, Ipswich. It's funny I say Ipswich because Kieran McKenna is the coach of Ipswich, and Kieran McKenna was part of the staff of Manchester United. But I'm not using. Let me use Watford. Yeah, let's just say we use Watford. You take a manager. Nah, Watford is also not a good example because they've been in the Premier League. Uh, Blackburn. Take somebody from Blackburn, manager from Black who has just been coaching Blackburn. Blackburn are where? Second, first tier, I don't know. They're right somewhere there in the middle of down there. You bring that manager to come and manage Manchester United. These players? Are you joking? We did that with Ole. We did that. So who is the elite manager out there that can come? I didn't mention Xabi Alonso because I just don't think Xabi Alonso and it's crazy. In as much as I like him, I just don't see that happening. I liked him as a player. He's one of those players, like a Kaká or Iniesta. No matter what club you support, you appreciate the footballer that he is. And he's so good. And especially his achievements with Bayer Leverkusen this season, going unbeaten, being invincible. That is a very fucking big deal. But I just don't see him coming at Manchester United. Graham Potter, he's been out for some time. He was at Brighton. He got sacked by Chelsea. Who's there? Nagelsmann is going to Bayern. Carlo Ancelotti. People keep talking about Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo Ancelotti looks like he's preparing himself for the next Champions League. Like this man, like who are we going to bring in? Liverpool have already started talks with that guy from Sporting Lisbon to come and take over from Klopp. Who are we thinking about bringing in? Please don't tell me fucking Southgate. Do not tell me this psychological messiah is coming to Manchester United. No, this guy's not going to do jack shit. In fact, he is going to make us worse. We need character. We need people that understand the game. We need people that are hungry. We need people that are so football minded. And I don't see Southgate as football minded. So I am pleading with Manchester to give Erik Ten Hag another chance. And by giving him another chance, please provide him with the tools to succeed. Provide him with the players. Provide him with the players and let's see. I don't think there's any. You see, Pochettino. Pochettino has got no excuses for himself. And I say this because he's been given billions to do his thing. He's got player on player. He has got depth when it comes to players. But he's failing. But this is his first season with Chelsea. But I know Chelsea fans are shitting on him saying, judge him next season. Give Pochettino next season. Because he's had a whole season to be with these players. He never really experienced a lot of injuries or whatever. Maybe he did. But he's had most of his players with him. And he's just hanging in there. He's down there. But next season is his second season. Chelsea are probably going to even buy more players, sell more players, add some sort of maybe a striker or whatever. I don't know what they're going to do, but they're going to do business in the summer. right? They're going to add. So give it until next season to see what Pochettino does, because Pochettino has got no excuses next season. If he continues to lose and Chelsea don't get into the top four, then his sacking is justified. You understand? But Erik Ten Hag, I don't see why. He came first season, boom, third. Cup final trophy. With a fucked up Manchester United. Dysfunctional. No camaraderie. Why are people ignoring that fact? That he inherited a toxic environment. That's what the gaffer, that's exactly what he inherited. Thank you everybody for catching this episode on the Glory Reds podcast. It's your boy Don Benito. Again, Erik Ten Hag in.